Welcome to Movie Recall. In today's video, we'll be going through the 2023 movie 65. It's time to recall. Let's get started. Turn on subtitles and spoilers ahead. The movie starts and we hear a voice narrating. It says that our galaxy is so big that we have no idea what is actually out there, and there is a possibility of life on many other planets. We see that the people on the planet called Samaris have become so advanced so many years ago that they are able to travel to other planets. The scene then changes to Mills, who has come to a beach with his daughter and his wife named Alia. We learn that Naveen has suffered from a deadly disease, and if this disease is not treated, she might lose her life. Her father, however, does not have enough money to have her surgery, so he decides to work extra in order to be able to save his daughter, whom he loves dearly. He happens to be an astronaut, so he decides to go on a long-term space mission. He usually does short-term jobs, but this time, he really needs the money, so he decides to put in some extra time. He has to take a number of scientists to another planet where they are going to conduct some research. With that, we learn that his mission is going to take up to 2 years. Mills goes on to discuss everything with his wife. The scene then changes to 2 years later, where we see Mills on a spaceship that is under his control. He is really close to his destination already. They are then hit by a number of meteorites. Mills wakes up from his sleep and he tries to take the ship under his control manually, as it was going on autopilot before. The other people are in cryogenic sleep right now, so they can be of no help to him. Mills realizes that his spaceship has endured a lot of damage and some of its parts have even broken. He decides to make a stop at the nearest planet. He now moves quickly towards a planet that he spots. He is not able to see anything, which makes him bump the spaceship into a huge boulder that inflicts even more damage to his ship. Mills looks around. He is shocked to learn that all the others in the ship are already dead. He himself is hurt too, as we see him taking out a piece of metal from his body. He goes out of the ship to look around. He is relieved to learn that he can easily breathe there. There are trees with fruits, and everything just seems like our own Earth. However, it is not the same Earth we inhabit today. It's from 65 million years ago, as we see dinosaurs and many other strange creatures lurking around. There are no humans out here yet. Mills yet again makes his way back to the ship to make sure if anyone else is alive, but there is no one. All the scientists are dead now. He then goes on to record everything that has been going on and updates his company. He looks around and realizes that there are 2 escape pods that are missing from the ship, which means someone might have escaped when they were hit. Mills is very much aware that those escape pods happen to be invincible because they are manufactured for these kinds of circumstances. Mills now decides that he is going to find those escape pods at any cost because that is the only way he is going to be able to get back to his family. He also considers committing suicide, but when he looks at some of his daughter's photos, he changes his mind. He tries to find something to eat, but no luck. When he is watching some of his daughter's videos, he goes on to receive a notification which indicates that there is someone still alive in those pods. Mills right away goes out and starts looking around for that pod. He follows the direction given to him by the system, and after having run around for a long time, he finally gets to that pod. When he opens it, there is a girl in there. He goes on to carry the girl in his arms and brings her back to the ship. The girl has not said anything so far. Mills finally asks her who she is and where she has come from. When the girl finally starts speaking, Mills is disappointed because he has no idea what she is saying. She talks in a different language. Mills does not even know what that language is. Mills can get her speech translated, but everything in the ship is broken, so when he tries to use the translator, it is of no use. Mills then manages to find a book through which he learns that the girl is named Koa. The scene then changes to the next morning when Mills goes out yet again. He wants to get a better idea of what is out there, and when he looks around, he realizes that he is in ancient times when the Earth was ruled by mighty creatures and not humans. He comes across a lot of big bones that make him realize that these predators are extremely deadly. He moves forward and gets hit by a hot geyser blast. He gets affected by this blast momentarily but manages to recover soon. He uses his small system and realizes that there is something shining on a nearby mountain, and when he takes a close look, he goes on to realize that this shining thing is actually the other half of his own spaceship. He decides that he is going to go to that mountain, but before that, he takes a quick scan which confirms that the shining object is actually the other half of his ship. He now starts thinking on which path he should be taking to get to the top of the mountain. As he figures that out, he is attacked by a small dinosaur. Mills manages to fight it, and after a while he is seen crushing the creature with his gun and kills it just like that. He then hears some noise coming from behind the bushes, and when he moves forward to see what is out there, he is shocked as he realizes that Koa has left the ship. She is seen hiding there, and when she realizes that she has been spotted by Mills, she starts running again. Mills, of course, goes on to chase her, and both of them end up falling off a ledge where they find a huge dinosaur. However, to their good luck, the giant creature is already dead. All of a sudden, the trees and the earth start shaking. As the two look on, even a bigger dinosaur approaches them. Mills quickly takes Koa and makes his way back to the ship. He brings her back to the ship and tries to tend to her wound. He even tries to explain himself, but she of course does not understand a single word, so it goes in vain. Mills then decides to communicate in some other way because they have to communicate at all costs. He goes on to make some drawings to make the girl understand that they have to get to the other mountain to retrieve the other part of the pod so that both of them are able to escape. Koa then draws back. She goes on to draw multiple people, and Mills understands that she is asking about her family who was presumably on the ship. Mills realizes that the girl is going to be heartbroken if she learns that her family is dead, so he lies to her, telling her that they are also on that mountain, so she is willing to go to the mountain with him. Mills then decides to send another SOS message where he wants to report to his superiors that he has found another survivor too. In the meantime, the girl watches some of Naveen's recordings, and through that, she learns that Naveen got even more sick when Mills was just 1 year into the journey, and she was taken to the hospital as well. We see that for starters, she was really happy and she kept telling her dad that she was proud of him for what he was trying to do for her, but as time went by, her messages changed. She was upset with her father for not being there for her. Mills shows up and tells Koa that they are leaving right away. They move carefully and quietly through the dense forest, with Mills being attentive all the time with his gun. Mills and Koa finally start understanding each other too. The journey is 15 miles, but it seems way longer than that because they have to move slowly through a dense forest, and they have to make sure they are not attracting any predators. Koa stops from time to time for one or another reason, and Mills is kind to her. They seem to be getting closer. The two keep walking, and Koa now starts getting bored. She does not find this walk amusing at all. She notices something red up in the sky, but chooses to ignore it. As they walk on, they come across some red berries. Koa goes on to pluck some of those and hits Mills with those berries, making it clear that she is sick of walking. Mills is a little annoyed, but he does not say anything. He, however, takes a quick scan of those berries and explains to her that they are really poisonous, so they should not be playing with them. As they walk on, they have to make another stop when Mills realizes that there is a strange bug on his neck, and when he kills it with his bare hands, he is disgusted with some very sticky substance on his fingers. Mills then tries to get rid of this substance by brushing it off on a tree, but it does not go away. He ends up getting some more things stuck to his hand because of the sticky substance, and as he struggles with that, the girl laughs. Mills also finds it amusing, and to be playful with her, he tries to touch her with his dirty hand. Their giggles, however, come to a halt when a small tree falls right in front of them. They look over a ledge to find another dinosaur stuck in that sticky substance. This one, however, is not big. Koa feels bad for the creature and runs towards it to help it out of there, but Mills shouts at her to get back because it is too dangerous. When Koa does not listen, Mills has no choice but to help her. They manage to free the creature, but when the little dinosaur walks away after that, he is attacked by some other predators who devour him right in front of Mills and Koa, who cries as she feels helpless this time. They keep walking and come across a waterfall, which makes them relieved. They make a stop there, wash themselves, and fill their water bottles too. Mills struggles a little with his stomach wound, but he wants to keep going. Koa, in the meantime, goes on to find some flowers and even puts one of them in Mills's hair, who is sweet enough to let her do that. Mills tries to scan the location again, but he is not able to get a better view because of the dense forest. He then gets on the branch of a tree, and when he is up there, he gets attacked by a bug. He tries to brush it off, but loses his balance and falls. His shoulder is dislocated, and when Koa tries to help him relocate his shoulder, he makes some noise which attracts a group of dinosaurs. She manages to get it back in its place just in time, and Mills picks up his gun. He starts shooting the creatures and tells Koa to get out of there. She runs away, and Mills uses some small bombs to take out many dinosaurs. In the meantime, Koa keeps running, but she comes across some flying predators. As she tries to hide from them, she is approached by other dinosaurs who are just about to devour her when Mills shows up and shoots them all. One of them, however, attacks Koa and drags her away, but Mills manages to scare it off with some gunshots. They get to a cave where Mills put on some sensors which are going to warn him if there is any danger. That night, he cries when he thinks of the phone call made to him by his wife when she told him that their daughter had died in a hospital. Koa tries to comfort him, and in the middle of the night, they are woken up by an alarm. There is a big dinosaur outside that cage. Mills goes on to shoot the creature, but this one is too big. He then grabs Koa, and both of them go through a small hole and go even further back into the dark cave. They keep walking only to reach a dead end, and they have no idea that they are being pursued by a smaller dinosaur. Mills then notices a small hole that is not big enough for a human to crawl through. He uses a mini bomb to make it bigger, and it works. Koa crawls through the narrow space and tells them that they can get out through this, but this part of the cave collapses and Mills loses contact with her. He is then attacked by the dinosaur who bites his arm. Mills tries to fight back, but he has lost his gun. He barely manages to get to his small system and turns on a screeching sound, which hurts the creature's ear, and Mills uses this opportunity to get his gun and shoot at the dinosaur. In the meantime, Koa has managed to get outside and she picks up a huge pointy bone to use it as a weapon. She even poisons the bone to make it more effective. Mills also comes out and sees a huge meteorite approaching. He checks his scanner and realizes that it is going to hit soon. Koa is attacked by a dinosaur. She screams and her screams are heard by Mills, who runs in her direction only to get stuck in quicksand. He starts sinking and after a while he is not able to even call out for help. Koa manages to kill the creature with a mini bomb and she gets to Mills. She uses a tree branch to help him get out of the quicksand and the two hug each other. They finally get to the mountain by nightfall. They get to the other half of the ship and Mills turns on the computer to learn that another vessel is on the way to rescue them. Koa learns that her family is dead and Mills tells her that his daughter is dead too. Both of them hug each other as they cry. This is when small pieces of meteorites start hitting and both of them get into a secure pod. As they are about to launch, a meteorite hits and the pod falls off the mountain. Both of them go unconscious. Koa wakes up and presses the launch button, only to learn that they cannot launch in their current position. Mills also wakes up and their pod is attacked by some dinosaurs. Mills gets out and retrieves his gun. He starts shooting, but they are too many. Mills now realizes that he is going to die there. This is when he sees Naveen's hologram, which has been put on by Koa to distract the dinosaur. The dinosaurs attack the hologram, which gives Mills ample time to shoot them. With the hits by the dinosaurs, the pod is now in the right direction to be launched, but the big dinosaur from the cave returns to attack them, and the sun has risen by now. Mills guides the dinosaur to a hot geyser, but the creature still stands tall, and when he is about to be eaten, Koa shows up with the poisoned bone and stabs the giant creature. In agony, the creature walks into the hot geyser and dies. The two finally get in the pod and hit the launch button. They are on their way back home, and Mills feels like he has found another daughter in Koa as she grabs his hand, and with that, the movie ends. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and click the bell icon to get new movie recaps.